All right, and this is the final video of the Magic Mac series that we'll kind of have here. And the one thing I want to talk about specifically in this video is going over a webhook. Now, for those of you not familiar with a webhook or you're not quite sure, it's a type of a URL that you add that can communicate information over the internet. It's kind of like when you take your token for your API key. It's really similar. It's how we can communicate between systems. So what is a webhook for you? You can think of it like you're sending mail to someone. So you write a letter, put a stamp on it, you send it, it's going to go to the mailman, right? They're a part of the webhook, right? They're going to grab it. They're going to bring it to the postal service and they're going to send it to where it needs to go. Maybe you're sending a letter to your grandmother or your parent or, a friend. So they're going to route it and they're going to send the mail to the right place. So for us, we're going from Google Sheet and we're saying, okay, I'm going to send this to a place like make.com, for example. Make.com is designed and built to send data, send the mail for us. So make.com is like our mailman. So from Google Sheet, we're going to take this whole process. And the nice thing is Magic Max does this automatically. So there's a couple ways to add a webhook. So on the Magic Max sheet, if you click set webhook, it's going to have a pop-up where you can actually you can add the URL, and you get those from a place like this. This is called make.com, and you can build these flows. And, for example, here I have the webhook, which is a URL. So if I click this, it's going to give me this URL, and this URL, this right here, we're going to put this into our Google Sheet. And then the other way to use this, to add this webhook here is in the main menu. So here, if you scroll down, you'll notice we now have a place to set a webhook, and that is going to be used across all of the Mac sheets. So all of the Mac sheets now have an option below step 6. The very last thing is you can send the data that you've created. So let's say you've been working in Neuron Writer, the Mac sheet, the Neuron Mac sheet. At the very bottom, send webhook data. So this is going to say, okay, I'm done with this sheet, and I'm going to send this information from this Google Sheet to this URL right here and into my flow. In my flow, I've built this to go from the mail that's coming in, this webhook, and it's going to go straight into Facebook. So that's how this is set up. The really nice thing about let's see if I can go. Let's see. I forget. I haven't really used make.com all that much. I've used other things over time. Why is that? I have this recording thing. It's in my way. Let's see. Let's look at my account. We'll just let's see, profile. I'm trying to figure out scenarios. Is this what it is? Active scenarios. Should have a way. Webhooks. Is this where it's at? Accepted. That's definitely not what I wanted. Edit. Scenario. Still trying to figure out the how this all goes. There's actually an account setting here. Wow. Sorry, this is acting really finicky. More. Where was I? Organizations. Oh, here we go. This gives you an overview. So this is a free plan. So current plan is free, and you get 1,000 operations. So I've been testing quite a bit. I've used not very many. I've used like maybe, it looks like, I don't know, 25 or so out of 1,000. I've used 3%. I've used 28. So I mean, that's a lot for a free account. Like, let's say all you're doing is sending the first article out of the 5 over to Facebook. Like, this will take care of it. You can see here I've been testing quite a bit. So I think it's worth it to you to go get a free make.com account, figure out how to build this webhook, and we can provide that to you. Like, how did I come through and build this? Like, it was not that complicated, and you can come through and build this out. So pretty cool stuff. If you click right on here, you can see that, we can actually configure this. So what's really nice about this is that as you're building content and you send over this data, it'll automatically put on Facebook, and then you can go through and you can boost posts or run little ads to your articles and drive clicks over there. So spend a little money, but then you end up getting traffic from Facebook over to your website, and you're saying, hey, Google, we're popular. Like, we have some traffic going, and that will help with indexing. It'll help with potentially ranking. Like, we know traffic coming from social sites does actually help. So there's a lot of benefits to having this automated. So I think it's worth exploring and having this in place. Is it absolutely necessary? I don't think so, but I think I'm definitely going to start using it and exploring this. And so Webhooks opens up the door for a lot of things. Like, if you want to post to a platform that's not here, I don't have an integration for it. So maybe you want to go to blogger.com, or you want to go to Go High Level. Like, if those are available in make.com, you can send those over from this Google Sheet automation. That's awesome. I mean, that's really cool stuff. Otherwise, what happens is this entire thing I've built, like Sheet, all this data, all this AI, all this stuff I've spent the last 2 years building. If you were to try to build this into make.com, you would be burning through automations. You'd have to spend monthly money just to pull all this off. Remember, we looked at that graph, right? So you don't need to do that. Like, you've paid for this automation. You can run this thing and not have to spend that money, which, could cost you $50, $100 a month. I mean, I'm not sure, I forget their pricing. Actually, I think it's pretty reasonable. When I've looked at their pricing before, I'm not even sure where it's at in here. Maybe under, I'd have to go see. Oh, upgrade. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. 10,000. Oh, so, I mean, you can do quite a bit, 10,000 operations, but in my flow, there are a lot of operations that get used up. I can tell you that. Like, we probably do close to 100 API calls or more for every article. I mean, it could be close to 100 per one. So if you had 5 articles, I mean, that's 500, maybe 1,000. I mean, you'd end up, yeah. So anyways, and then you got to figure it all out. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's really challenging to build this stuff out and automate it with a tool like this, in my opinion. Here, you just have a sheet that'll just auto build for you. And then the free account, you don't need to get all this other automations. Like, the free account, if you only need to post once a day to Facebook and you get 1,000 free, I mean, you could literally just use make.com for free and just be sending data to Facebook using this tool, which is, I think, incredible. So I definitely would check it out and give it a whirl. So yeah, really cool stuff. So with Magic Max, if you have that URL, the webhook URL, it's going to automatically send it when step 6 or 5 is completed. It's designed, the code's designed to fire it off in step 5 or 6. If you're using one of these other sheets like BB Max or Neuron Writer or Surfer, those you have to manually come down here, open up this item, and you have to click send webhook data. Then it'll do it. Otherwise, the cool thing with Magic Max is it's supposed to be all automated, right? Like, that's the whole goal. So it will automatically do it for you. So that means if you use a scheduler every day that it runs, it's just going to send over data, which I think is awesome. So it's going to do it. So anyways, I just had these articles get pushed over. And then if you come here and look, it's there. Like that's the article we looked at. So if you come here and you click on this first one, you can see here's the title, here's the image. It says "Ahoy mates!" Like remember that's the one by the pirate that we set up. And if I come look here on Facebook, it's there, it's live. And if I click on this, it's going to open up and ahoy mates, we're on the same article. So it's all tied together. Really, really cool stuff here. Yeah, so that's it about webhooks. It's really not complicated. You're really just going to go create a make.com account. You're going to click webhooks and there'll be an option to create a new webhook. I believe so. We'll figure out how to set this up. Kind of new to make.com. I've used, like I said, over the last 10, 15 years, I've definitely used connectors. They all are generally work in different ways, but very, very similar automation tools. But yeah, you get yourself a webhook and all you're going to do is come on over to Magic Max, and you can set this up either through the settings menu or directly on the Magic Max menu right in the middle. There's an option for it. And you just set the webhook, and then automatically when this is done running or when the scheduler is done running, you're good to go. So let me know if you're interested. Reach out and get more information on webhooks if that's something you want, if you need the help. So otherwise, that is Magic Max and webhooks.